Hey guys, this is Brian with Fanatic Bike. I am here today to talk to you guys about the Magura MT5 and MT7 hydraulic disc brakes. There is not a whole lot different about these brakes other than the MT7 is going to come with a tool-free reach and pad contact adjustment on the lever. The MT5 does require a T25 Torx tool to adjust the reach, and there is no pad contact adjustment on these. The MT5 is coming in at $179. The MT7 is going to be $279. I decided to go with the MT5s on my bike about 3 months ago, and I've been riding them on some of the steeper, gnarlier terrain that we have here in the Pacific Northwest. I have not found them to have any problems with fading or anything like that so far. They've been super reliable. They're super easy to set up on my bike. The MT5 and MT7 levers are what they are calling carbotexture. It is a fiber composite material which allows them to get the levers in pretty lightweight. My only complaint is it does not feel quite as solid as the metal bodies of the Guide and Shimano brakes that I've ridden, but as far as the performance and power that the brakes are giving me, I have nothing to complain about. The levers are a two-piece design, which allows you to get a adapter so that you can actually run the SRAM shifters with them. It's a matchmaker adapter. Besides the levers feeling a little bit less solid than the SRAM levers, I haven't found anything other than the levers being a little bit large. They feel fine in my hands, but I think that with somebody with a little bit smaller hand may have a little bit of trouble getting them adjusted right. I have seen some reviews online that have mentioned people with small hands having a little bit of trouble with them, but I haven't had any problems with mine, and I don't have particularly large hands. The caliper on the MT5 and MT7 brakes is a 4-piston caliper. The MT7s are going to come with a slightly different brake pad setup than the MT5. It comes with actually 4 different pads that you put in individually, and you have to run a cotter pin going in between them. So if you go ahead and replace your pads and go with this, make sure that you do get the pins with them. Otherwise, you won't be able to keep the brake pads in the caliper. The other brake pads that come in the MT5s look like this. It just comes with 2 different pads. The calipers have magnets in them that actually help snap the brake pads into the correct place, which makes changing your brake pads super easy. When you do change them, Magura does suggest that you reset your pistons. And when resetting the piston, you're going to want to go ahead and open up the bleed valve that's at the top of this lever to push the pistons back in and release any extra air fluid that's in the system. When you are resetting your pistons, be careful with the bleed port screw. It is made out of the same fiber composite material that the rest of the lever is made out of. Just make sure that you don't over tighten it or anything like that. It does use a T25 Torx tool to remove that. The hose fitting on the Magura caliper is a banjo fitting, very similar to some of the Shimano lines out there. It makes adjusting the angle which your line is going into your caliper really easy. Some bike frames, the lines can get a little bit kinked, and this kind of takes care of that problem, which is really nice. So if you're interested in running the Magura MT brakes or any of the other Magura brakes for that matter, they do require that you use the Magura rotor. It just helps the whole brake system mesh together a little bit better. The Magura brakes use a different mineral oil than the Shimano brakes do. It's a blue mineral oil rather than the red. Be sure that you do make sure to use this when you're bleeding your brakes or when a shop is bleeding your brakes. If you use the Shimano stuff, it will ruin your lines. Magura is claiming that this brake fluid is quite a bit more environmentally friendly than the other brake fluids out there, so for those of you worried about that, this is going to be your best option. To wrap it up, the MT5 and the MT7 are pretty much similar, except for the MT7s are going to have the tool-free adjustments on the lever. Brake pads that come stock in the brakes are going to be different in the MT7 and the MT5, but they are both compatible. When you are running the Magura brakes, you got to make sure that you're using the Magura rotor. It's the Storm SL rotor. It's on our website. And make sure that you use the royal blood when you are bleeding these guys. that about wraps it up for the Magura brakes. If you guys have any questions, feel free to give us a call or check us out on our website, fanaticbike.com. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks.